I'm one of the founding members of Gulf World Marine Institute, which is a nonprofit arm of Gulf World Marine Park in Panama City Beach. What we're doing today is we're releasing about 135 cold stun turtles. The majority of them are green turtles. We have a handful of Kemp Ridleys that are the most critically endangered turtle that there is. These have been pulled out over the last week in St. Joseph Bay. And what happens is when the water temperature drops really quickly, it cold stuns the turtles and they go into a semi-hibernation phase where they kind of float up to the top and you can just reach down and pick them up. They'll get a little frostbite on their flippers or a little ice in their eyes. It's usually the juveniles or the ones whose immune systems are compromised that float to the surface. We immediately transport them over to Gulf World, where depending on the condition of the turtle, we either give it fluids. Some of them, if they're not strong enough, have to sit out for a day. We want to get them back into the water temperature that they're used to immediately, which is the same water temperature that we're releasing them in today.
Hey, say goodbye, I'm going home. Thinking about it.
We do have a thermometer in the bay that we can check online, and we can know when a cold stun is coming just by the forecast. We have a great group of volunteers here today. As you can see, FWC brought about 8 to 10 people from their group.
You going on that side? I'll go on the left side.
We also have about 10 people from Gulf World Marine Institute and Gulf World Marine Park, as well as about 10 volunteers here from the Turtle Patrol. As you can tell from the crowd, there's a big crowd excited to see you.
You can stay behind the line. They'll bring you a big turtle. You'll get
okay, here we go.
They're as passionate about seeing as the turtles as we are about releasing them back into the wild. And it's just great for them to see something close up that they would probably never get to see in their lifetime.
Look how pretty their shells are.
Oh, yeah.
The weights of these actually have varied between about 3 pounds and 75 pounds, so it's all over the map.
That was quite an exit.
Even with this great group of volunteers, it's going to take a couple hours for the release to be finished.
If you go at the insertion of it, it should peel kind of off.
That's what I'm trying to do.
You might notice on the fins of some of the turtles, there's a silver tag. So once the turtles are rescued and taken over to Gulf World, they're weighed, they're measured, and they're tagged so we can track them. The FWC personnel is keeping close track of the tag numbers of the turtles that are released back into the wild.
G1121 is good to go.
And all of them actually have writing on the back of their shells. What that indicates is where that turtle was rescued from. For example, you'll notice the one turtle here is tagged RHK. That stands for Richardson's Hammock, number 29. So that was the 29th one brought in that day from Richardson Hammock. One has EAF, that's for Eglin Air Force Base. One has EWD, that's for the East Wind Drive area that we were bringing them in. So they're always marked where they come from, the area of the bay which they come out of, as well as the date and the number that we have brought out that day.
He says, I want to go.
All right.
It's really interesting to note that we released 87 2 weeks ago because of a cold stun that we had, and none of the 87 that we released were back in this batch of about 135.
Seeing those turtles there? Look at that.
Gulf World Marine Institute is a nonprofit arm of Gulf World Marine Park. We founded the nonprofit about 2 years ago. No, actually it's been 4 now. Just took a long time to do the paperwork. 2010, we had 1,800 sea turtles wash up in St. Joe Bay. It was the largest recorded cold stun in history. And Gulf World did not have a nonprofit arm at the time, so we founded one, and we now have our Gulf World nonprofit. You can see my shirt on. And our mission at Gulf World Marine Park is for the turtles and the dolphins is to rehabilitate and release back into the natural habitat when possible. And we have a very high success rate with the turtles.
He's coming to you.
This is the second release this year, and we're hoping it's the last. As fun as it is to see them up close, we like them to be swimming happily in their environment.